Hello everyone, welcome back to the world of English exams. So as you have seen, the topic for today's video is going to be the vocabulary for IELTS. So as you know, vocabulary, which is called lexical resource, plays a major role and in fact it gives 25% of the score for your writing and speaking text. So I thought, why don't I give some words and their meanings related to a topic, so that it will be much easier for you the next time when you're writing an essay or you're talking about the topic. You can just recapitulate these words and try to use them in the right sense so that you will get your desired score. So with that intention, today we are going to take up the topic of crime and punishment. I'm going to show you one or two sample essay prompts, and then I'll specifically give you the words and their meanings as such. For some words I'll also give you the synonyms, because most of the times when students are writing an essay, particularly an essay, they fumble for words. That is, they don't get the other ways of writing it. For instance, let's say you want to write that there is a lot of congestion on the road. So maybe that word congestion may not strike your mind. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you need to know alternative ways of explaining the concept. So instead of writing congestion, maybe you can write heavy traffic. Yes, vehicular traffic. So this is how you need to boost your vocabulary, and this is a small video that can help you boost your score for lexical resource. So what are we waiting for? Let's start the video, in which we are going to discuss crime and punishment related vocabulary. So basically, as I told you, I'm going to start the video by giving you one or two sample essay prompts which help you understand what kind of questions you can expect in this topic. So let's read. Many people are too scared to leave their home because of fear of crime. So the fear is mounting in their minds, and that's making them to feel scared to leave their home and come out actually. So some people think that more should be done to prevent crime. Okay, so that is according to the opinion of certain individuals. Maybe whatever laws are being enforced and practiced at the moment, they are not being sufficient because the crime rate isn't coming down. So they believe that the government and the individuals, they need to coordinate and strive more in order to reduce or actually prevent crime. This is the opinion of a group of individuals. Whereas, so here we have a other group of individuals as well, whereas others feel that nothing can be done. So these individuals feel that no, whatever measures you take, the rate of crime will never come down. So nothing can be done about it. We just have to bear with it and just follow. That's it. We need to live with it. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion. So clearly this is an essay that focuses on crime, and according to the belief of some, it can be reduced, of course, and as far as others' opinion go, so nothing can be done about this situation. So this is one essay prompt, and another one. Prisons are an expensive way of making bad people worse. I hope you know the difference between bad and worse. Yeah, so bad is a positive degree, positive adjective I mean to say, whereas its comparative degree is worse. So the statement says that if you put somebody behind the bars, it's not making them any better. In fact, people whose intentions are bad are now turning out to be even more worse by putting them in prison or by convicting them. So that is what it means. So to what extent do you agree or disagree with this? So here it's asking your opinion clearly, whether you are agreeing or disagreeing with the statement, or maybe you have a neutral opinion as well. So these kinds of questions are expected in the IELTS test. So you all have to be prepared with the vocabulary. Of course, we have already released a video previously in which I explained method in which you can analyze the questions and generate ideas. So if you haven't watched that video, I'll share a link in the description box in which you can just click on the link and go to that video in which I clearly gave the templates for all the essay questions. So now the primary focus is on vocabulary, which you can use depending on the ideas that you generate for such essay prompts. So let's quickly jump into the video in which I'm going to start giving you the vocabulary. So let's start with the first set of words. The first one, notorious criminals. Of course, notorious criminals mean people who are connected with wicked or cruel behavior. Of course, that is the meaning of notorious, right? So next, wrongdoers. This is another beautiful word which I don't see students using often. So if you want to score better for lexical resource, I think you have to incorporate such words if the situation arises. And here is a small warning, I must say, or a kind of disclaimer that I'm giving you, that never use a word just for the sake of using it. You need to have the right context, the right situation, or the right example for the word to be incorporated. Just don't keep on stuffing words into the paragraph. This will not only confuse you but also the examiner who is evaluating your essay. So that may lead to decrease in your score. So don't give that chance to the examiner. So the next one, of course, convicts, another word for criminals. So a person who is guilty of a criminal offense. So these kinds of words you need to have in your mind while writing the essay. You don't just keep writing the same word over and over again. Next, felony. Now this is one word which again is a very good word which is related to crime, but there are two words here, guys. The first one is felony, and people who commit major crime, that big crime, large scale crime. So those people are known as felons, and of course the criminal act itself is known as felony. The plural for this would be felonies. Then if the intensity of the crime is not as severe as felony, then that would be called as a misdemeanor. Misdemeanor is nothing but a minor crime, a small petty crime you can say. So then we have misdeed. Deed is something which is done, and miss is nothing but wrong. Miscommunication, mistake. Yeah, so that something like that. We have misdeed, which is wrongdoing or bad deeds. Okay, wonderful. Then we have another similar word which is misconduct, which is unacceptable behavior. Basically, misconduct, this word can be used when you're writing about bad behavior at workplace or in schools and colleges, maybe big institutions, educational institutions and such other places. Then we have heinous. Wonderful word again, which is rarely used. So it means very, very bad, utterly wicked, evil. So you can tell that someone is a heinous criminal, which is he's a very, very wicked, evil person. Then we have burglars, a common word, but I don't see people using it. So I thought I should include this in the video. So burglars are thieves or housebreakers. Then trespasser. Here there is a difference between housebreaker and trespasser, though these are similar words. So burglar, the intention is to rob something, to loot something, whereas trespasser is a person who enters into a land or a property that doesn't belong to them. That is somebody else's property. And these people will enter without their permission. So such people are known as trespassers, and that act is called trespassing. So you can use the different forms of the same word in the IELTS test. You necessarily need not keep synonymizing the word again and again, but you can retain the root word and keep changing its forms. So for example, trespasser, trespassing, trespassed, something like that. So you may write the different forms of the word in order to improve your score. And of course that's allowed in the test. Then we have the next word, which is delinquent. So whenever you hear this term delinquent, always remember that a young person is involved in it. So a boy. Okay, so basically a juvenile delinquent. A juvenile delinquent is a young person who commits a crime. So, and that act is called juvenile delinquency. So, as I told you previously, you may use the different forms of the same root word. So, this completes our first set of vocabulary. If you wish to make a note of it, please do pause the video at this point of time and quickly grab a paper and a pencil rather than clicking a photo or something like that. I would highly encourage you to go ahead and make a note of it, because once you write, there is a strong chance that these words will retain in your mind till you give your exam. So now let's proceed to the next set of words. Okay, so here what I've done is, on this slide I have given the different kinds of crimes. So here I gave the different terms that are related to crime, and here particularly I have given the various kinds of crime. So, of course, the regular ones like robbery and all that you know. So, I thought I'll go ahead and give you the words which you may not be aware of. So, the first one is organized crime. So, here the word itself means organized is nothing but proper planning is there behind that. It's properly planned, and so these kinds of crimes are usually committed on a large scale. It's not a petty crime. It's not a misdemeanor. So it's a large scale crime, that too committed by powerful groups, not by ordinary men. So that such crimes are called organized crime. So there is proper planning behind the crime. Then we move on to the next type of crime, which is called white collar crime. So I'm not talking about the color here. So white collar crime, these crimes are non-violent. That is, there is no violence in it. There is no bloodshed in that. But it's committed for financial gain. So if somebody wants to improve their financial situation in an illicit way or an illegal way, such kind of crime which do not involve violence are called white collar crimes. Just remember these terms and use them appropriately. Then of course the opposite would be violent crimes. So the opposite of white collar crime will be violent crime, the use of violence or weapons to threaten people. So such kind of crimes are called violent crimes. Then we have victimless crime. Now this is something which you have to note in your mind very clearly, because generally when there is a crime there has to be a victim, but sometimes a crime is committed in which there is no victim. Something like you can say gambling or maybe prostitution. So where it's not that a person is being victimized. There's no apparent injury or pain. It's like people are willing so to do that, and such kind of crimes are called victimless crimes. Very important. Then we have cyber crime. I hope all of you know about this, but still cyber crimes are carried out by means of computers and internet and such other online resources. So cyber fraud kind of thing. Then we have forgery, again a well-known word, but forgery is not just imitating or copying signatures, but it also relates to bank notes. Bank notes can undergo forgery. Okay, so they can be forged. Then or a document or something like that. So please remember this word. Then there's phishing. Phishing is sending fraudulent or illegal emails with an intention to grab some essential information from the people, like let's say their bank account details or some other information which has to be kept very confidential. When such information is desired and people keep sending mails, so that act is known as phishing. The process is called phishing. So don't confuse this with the hobby, FISHING. That's different, and this is different. Just for your reference. Then we have cyber stalking. So stalking is nothing but you follow somebody secretly or something like that. That's called stalking. And here cyber refers to using internet. So maybe you stalk somebody and a person collects information which is sensitive. So such kind of acts come under cyber stalking. Then there's hacking. Yes, hacking is maybe gaining unauthorized access to data which relates to somebody else. from a computer. So these are the different kinds of crimes. Now I would like to give you few more words related to crimes and punishment. So the first one in the third set of words is unlawful. So again, instead of always writing, misdeed, a wrong deed, bad action, criminal action, so I thought I should go ahead and give you some words which mean the same. They are synonyms, but the usage is something which you have to keep in your mind, and you need to use them in the right sense. So words like unlawful, which is against the law. So you can even use these phrases. That's the reason I've given the meanings in the form of phrases, so that you can directly go ahead and use the phrase. If you don't remember unlawful, you can directly write against the law. Or if you don't remember illicit, illicit is forbidden by law, something against the law. Then, if you don't remember this word, you can write lawless, which means there is no law at all. Lawless. Then there is outlawed. See, with the same word called law, we can frame multiple words, n number of words. This is what you have to understand. Unlawful, illicit, lawless, outlawed, all of them more or less mean the same, but the context in which you use them is slightly different, which you have to understand when you're writing an essay, or for that matter of fact, you can also use them in your speaking test. Then there is homicide, which is nothing but murder. So then there is manslaughter, which is very, very horrible killing. Okay, and that too, if it's done unintentionally, that is, you don't do it wantedly. Okay, then that's called manslaughter. I'm not referring to you as such. So it's in general. It's in general. Then there's slaying. Slaying refers to killing a person or an animal, a kind of crime. Then shoplifting. So let's move away from murder, manslaughter, homicide for a moment, and just come back to the common kinds of crimes that we see in our day-to-day lives. We read it, we know about it. That is shoplifting. A good word, instead of using robbery or thievery or theft or stealing, you can write shoplifting. Then there is vandalism, very, very important word, particularly if you are writing about a damage, a crime which involves destruction of public or private property. Property destruction is called vandalism, and people who commit such crimes are called vandalists or vandals. I'm sorry. Then there is pickpocketing. Yes, so picking the pockets is called pickpocketing, as simple as that. So stealing money and other valuables from a person's pockets. So then there is drug trafficking, that is illegal trade of drugs. So that's called drug trafficking. Now I would like to give you few more words before we end the video. I hope all of you are making a note of these words and you're understanding the meaning. In case you have a doubt with any of these words, or if you want me to give you some examples of sentences in which these words can be used, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, and we'll get back to you with that video as well very soon. So let's proceed to the last set of words, that is incarceration, something related to punishment as well. So incarceration is a very good term that can be used instead of jailing a person, putting behind bars, putting in jail. So instead of using that, you can write incarceration. Incarceration is the process of putting somebody behind the bars. Okay, and the different verb form for this is incarcerated. Okay, so criminals are incarcerated. Felons are incarcerated, something like that. Then there's imprisonment, another word for incarceration. As I told you, I'm giving you a lot of synonyms. See, captivity, something similar to incarceration. Then there's internment. So internment is, if a person is imprisoned for political reasons, then that's usually called internment. And then there is durance, which again means in police custody or imprisoned. Then there is retribution. Retribution is putting somebody behind the bars due to vengeance, hatred, out of ego or something like that. Then the final word that we're going to take is capital punishment, which is a legal killing. Legal killing because of a crime as a punishment. So I'll end the video here, guys. I hope this video was useful in helping you learn some words that are related to crime and punishment. So if you would like to receive updates about our videos regularly, consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't. And if you like this video, please do give it a big thumbs up, share it with all your friends so that they will benefit from this video too. And do let us know how you found this video useful in the comment section. We will be waiting to see your comments because they help us make better videos and better content for your benefit. So till I see you with another awesome video related to the IELTS test. Happy preparation, guys. Stay home and stay safe.